everybody, welcome to another lesson of learning Japanese. Today we're going to be taking a look back at our coverage of the anime series Shingeki no Kyojin, otherwise known as Attack on Titan. So what we've done in a lot of previous videos, 25 to be exact, is we've taken a look at the series on an episode by episode basis. So we've taken vocabulary terms from each episode and we've kind of listed them out for you to learn because those are the kind of standout words that you need to know to understand the dialogue in the show or that particular episode of the show. Now that we're done with our coverage of the show, what we're going to do now is take a quick look back by just really quickly looking at the top 10 most commonly used words in the entire show. So our list here is going to be comprised of 10 vocabulary terms, as you would probably expect, but what we've done is we've kind of dissected certain kinds of words from being considered at all, and that's pretty much just going to boil down to proper nouns, names of characters, because those are going to appear a lot. People are going to say people's names a lot in the show, so we're going to take that out because even if that's included on the list, we don't really earn anything from that because you won't be learning any new words in Japanese. You're just going to be learning names of characters. So, yeah. Now, without further ado, we are going to start off with our number 10 most used word in the show, and that is just going to be the very simple word, wōru. And this is going to be the katakana word for the English word wall, and it's going to mean wall. And I don't think any explanation of context is needed here. If you know the premise of the show, you know that the word wall might appear a lot because the entire show thus far takes place in the confines of a wall, basically. Next up for our number 9 most used word in the show is the word shusshin. And this word is going to translate to something along the lines of one's hometown. This is probably the most surprising entry in our list because it doesn't have quite too much to do with the theme or the motif of the show, but it is the first season and you can imagine a lot of the characters introducing themselves and talking about something like this a lot, so that just happens to be our number 9 word. For our number 8 most used word in Shingeki no Kyojin, we have the very common word sekai, and this is going to translate to quite simply world. So this is a pretty common word, but it's not too surprising an entry here because we do have a lot of talk about the world inside the walls, the world outside the walls, wanting to see the world outside the walls, etc., etc. We move on to our number 7 most used word, which is going to kind of fit into the same criteria, and this is going to be the word naichi, and this is going to translate to something along the lines of inner parts, interior, and this is of course going to be commonly used to refer to the inner parts of the walls that they live in contrast to the world outside the walls. Moving on to our number 6 word, and we have the vocabulary term kunren, and this is going to translate to something along the lines of practice or training. If you've seen the show, you know that a good chunk of it in the beginning is going to be focusing around their training as soldiers, and so this word of course is going to be tossed around a lot. We move into our 5th and 4th most commonly used word in this show, and we get kind of into the territory of proper nouns. For our 5th entry, we have chosa, which means kind of like investigation or in this case survey. Then we add on that second word, which is going to give the additional meaning of kind of a corps or a military group. So a survey corps, yeah, that's basically a pretty unique term to Shingeki no Kyojin, but it is composed of legitimate words that are worth learning. If you're familiar with the show, then you probably know that the survey corps isn't the only corps. It's one of 3, and one of the other ones is the kenpeidan. And what this is gonna basically translate to is the military police. The word kenpei pretty much translates to military police, and then we just kind of add that suffix dan to give it more of the feel of a military group. Moving on to our number 3 most commonly said word in the show, we unfortunately do not include that last of the 3 military groups, but we instead have the much more common word heishi, which is gonna translate to soldier. However, more frequent than the word soldier is the word jinrui, which is going to translate to humanity. And of course, if you've seen the show, you probably do remember that they do talk about humanity a lot. The fate of humanity, the extinction of humanity, the threat that is threatening humanity, etc. Speaking of threatening humanity, the premise of the show is in fact that there are a race of giants or titans that are threatening humanity. And as you might have guessed from the very beginning of this video, our number one most commonly used word in the show Shingeki no Kyojin / Attack on Titan is the word Kyojin, which is going to translate to giant, or in this case, in the localized title of the show, Titan. So this is the word that actually appears in pretty much the title of the series itself, Shingeki no Kyojin. Kyojin means giant. Yeah, that's the number one most commonly used word in this show, and should come as no surprise because, you know, it's a show that needs to establish its setting, so it's going to be using that word a lot. People are going to say it a lot. And yeah. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned a new word or a couple new words. Most of them are pretty simple. Now you have no excuse to not know what they mean when they come up on the show. If the content of this video wasn't quite challenging enough for you, of course, do remember that we have already covered all episodes of the show with a lot of vocabulary terms in each episode, up to, I don't know, 70, 90 per episode. So check those videos out if you want to learn more new words that will definitely appear in the show, so you can practice learning new words while watching anime. And last but not least, what we're going to do, if it hasn't been done already by the time this video is posted, is that we're going to make a post about every single word that appears in the show. It'll be on our official website. So yeah, if you're really up for the challenge and you want to learn every single word that is said in this show so that you can watch this show, know the vocabulary terms, and get it on lock and feel really cool about it, check that out. It'll be on our official website. And with that, I am checking out. Leave a comment about what you thought about this video. Check out our other content, and see you next time.